journals, business cards, and whatever your company and or organization needs.
I don't know why this one ain't gonna work.
Our service is fast, first class, and our products are high quality. Don't hesitate to call us at 410-566-3005. Email us at sales@timeprinters.com or simply visit our website, www.timeprinters.com. We guarantee your satisfaction and promise to exceed your expectations. Thank you and have a good day.
Showtime, yeah.
The all-new WMEG Radio.
Won't even launch.
The Nitelifer, the Night Circle of Sanity, ready to show.
What you got?
This is state of emergency.
The Nitelifer, the Night Circle of Sanity, ready to show. The Nitelifer, the Night Circle of Sanity, ready.
What you got, little mama? Show me what you got, girl. Show me what you got, shawty. Show me what you got, baby. Hands up and wave.
The Nitelifer, the Night Circle of Sanity, ready.
Woo, a lot of feedback.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Nitelifer, the Night Circle of Sanity, ready to show.
What up? Good evening, fellow students, followers of all things Nitelifer, Rock Meg Nation, friends and fans. WMEG 1 radio station. I would say Facebook Live, but Facebook is tripping on me right now. I can't make it happen. I'm trying, it won't get there. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're trying to watch on Facebook, you're not hearing this unless you're on Rock Meg Nation. Listen, everybody, got to talk about some things this evening that my heart is welled up within my chest. I am super excited about the DNC convention.
I was there.
Yeah. I hope the way I just quickly dismissed you doesn't hurt your feelings, but yeah. So just had to do a little flippity flip flop. I am now broadcasting on my phone for Facebook Live with Nitelifer Circle of Sanity. But I encourage everyone to go to Rock Meg Nation Facebook page and follow the show from there. We're going to start pushing everybody there anyway for various reasons, but mainly because you don't get to see my face up close and personal, and that's probably a better look for me. As usual, in the studio, the man with the plan and the man whips it up, the one and only great, bestest DJ in this building today, DJ Rock Nice.
Wicked, what's up?
You know what? I'm going to let you give yourself a round of applause because you've earned it.
Thank you, man.
I mean,
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
You know, I got nothing but love for you, baby. I'm
you
here.
Get some brisket in return?
No, and you know, I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying to help your diet because when I met you, you was a big boy, right? And I feel like if every time you get some of my food, it contributes to the delinquency of your journey. So,
well, what about the pulled pork?
No, I'm not going to feed you anything else anymore because I want you to hit that beautiful beach body that you have hidden within. And I'm just
I got a beach body. It's just a beach ball.
You're going to leave Troy King Brody out of this.
Yo, shout out to him, man. He goes under the knife tomorrow, man. So shouts out to him, man. Speedy recovery.
Yeah, because we got nothing but love for Troy. And
only on Mondays.
Well, you love him on Monday. I love him 7 days a week.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. His birthday wasn't on a Monday. And you gave him holy hell that day.
See, this is what you don't understand. I sent Troy a personal. Wait, that close. No, I sent Troy a message on Facebook, heartfelt and sincere. And I don't have to be in the group text to express how much I appreciate that young man who's been in my life as a friend and partner for. I mean, we go back like car seats. I can't even tell you how far. I can tell you how far it wasn't. I never gave him any mixtapes to sell for me. I mean, I know what I know, and some of the things I know is
you gonna get his kneecaps broken. I still want my money, man. Each one of them boxes is $100.
Well, I mean, look,
$100 is a lot of money in '86.
Did you learn a valuable lesson?
I did, very much so.
So why are you mad? Education is important.
Okay.
And you got education. It cost you. It wasn't free, but now you know. And like they used to say on the old commercials, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
You slipping, man. You didn't put your band out tonight.
I didn't, did I? Wow. You know what? I'm slipping.
Yeah,
you know what it is? I was angry when I came in here.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what I'm angry about. America, I'm just going to say this. There are people who are just selfish and greedy and don't be sharing. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. There's people who don't share. They just don't share.
How many lemonades did you bring in the station?
Where the bag of chips? I told you last week the chips. There's no bags of chips.
How many Whoppers did you bring in the station?
How many racks of ribs did you get? Slabs of ribs did you get last week?
One.
Okay, there you go.
But you got a cash app for that.
Oh, so now we're gonna bring facts into the whole equation?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that helps my cause.
Fair exchange is
I don't appreciate you bringing facts. See, you like a woman, man. I can't even have an argument with you. Because with a woman, like you present your case and then she'll throw facts at you and then like you can't win. And as a black man, as a brother, you're supposed to help we're supposed to lift each other up, help each other. Help me, help you, help me, help you.
Yeah, you got that. Man, since we're talking about food, can I send a big shout out to CC Sweets?
No, did they bring me any food?
Well, they will. Listen, I got it in the works, man.
Come on, work with me. Talk to me.
I got it coming, man. But that's some of the best desserts around, man.
The desserts.
Yes.
Talk to me.
That's desserts. We're talking about sweet potato cake.
Oh.
We're talking about peach cobbler.
Uh-huh. Not a big fan of peach
Oreo
cobbler.
crumb cake. I think that's pronounced right.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, that actually tuned into the show tonight. If this is what I want, because I think they can hear me. Can a representative from CC Sweets please call in so we can give you the extensive menu so I don't mess it up? The number is 443-267-6558.
6558.
Yes. Call us right now so you can tell us the extensive menu.
Tell us the menu.
I knew about the peach cobbler.
Not a fan.
The Oreo cookie.
Love it.
Cake. Yeah.
Love it. Sweet potato cake.
Some type of crumb cake.
Sweet potato cake.
Sweet potato pound cake.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And some other stuff. It's just the menu goes on and on and on. And for us to properly give them their just due, I want a representative from CC Sweets to call in and tell us what their menu looks like.
They should call in. And the number they should call in is on
443-267-6558.
That's what I'm saying. Like, see that how we did that teamwork?
Yeah.
Makes the dream work.
Very much so.
So, what's the name of the joint, the place again?
CC Suites.
CC Suites.
Yes.
Now, that's not the guy that stands on the corner of North Avenue and 83
Nah, they ain't
with
standing nowhere near
the
North
shorts
Avenue.
on and and the cutoff shirt.
Nah, they ain't gonna be nowhere near North Avenue.
Okay, I mean, because there's a guy. But seriously though, yeah, you know what goes good with sweets?
What, some ribs?
Some ribs as your main course, and let the sweets be the dessert.
It'll be almost like Thanksgiving.
Or my birthday.
Your birthday.
Anytime I get sweets, it's my birthday.
Okay.
I'll stick a candle in it, light it, and scream happy birthday to me.
But you had some good sweets at your birthday.
We're not talking about, but that was years ago. That was back in the day.
I was there, though.
I know, but that's not today. You keep bringing up old stuff. Let's talk about today.
Man, listen.
Yes.
I ain't never been to a function that gave brisket as a part of the buffet.
And how much did you pay for that?
Absolutely nothing.
See, okay, so I don't know if you noticed this trend. I've seen it. I've seen two different stories on Facebook.
What's the two stories you saw on Facebook?
About these people who have these expensive weddings and have charged their guests
$450
to come to the wedding, and nobody shows up.
I'd have came for some brisket.
I'd have cut. Look, you know the best way to get molly-whopped and slapped upside your head?
To charge people $450.
You send me an invite and say you got to pay to come in.
All right. Hey, listen, Yale.
Yes.
We got a representative from CC Suites on the line because I jacked up the menu.
Well, that is not surprising.
All right, but we're going to allow them to tell you about the menu. Listen, man, listen. You know how we pushing to support Kamala right now?
Yes, that's
we
about
got to
the show.
Support everything brown, especially the females.
I'm on board with that.
All right. Carla, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Carla Fuzzy Moore, and I am the owner and operator of CC Suites.
So wait a minute, before you get started, before Rock messes this up, I have some questions I need to ask up front.
Okay.
Where's your store Where's your business located?
Well, I don't have a storefront.
Not necessary, but you're in Baltimore.
Yes, I am in Baltimore, Maryland.
Do you serve East Baltimore, West Baltimore, all over Baltimore?
All over Baltimore.
What's the best side of Baltimore?
The west side.
That's what I'm talking about.
Say it with your chest.
With your chest out. Say it with your chest out.
We need to know your extensive menu because I had it all jacked up. I had like 3 or 4 items, and I know you sell more than 3 or 4 items.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna hang up my banner because I forgot to hang up my banner. Go ahead.
Please
talk about it.
So I have homemade individual desserts, cakes in a jar, and other individual desserts. I have peach cobbler. I have sweet potato pound cake. I have Oreo cake. I have banana pudding cake. And I have strawberry crunch cake.
What's a cake in a jar?
So cake in a jar is an 8-ounce serving, so you don't have to worry about portion control. And it comes with homemade cake. It has whipped icing, and then it has the toppings that corresponds with the flavor.
8 ounces of cake, is that equivalent to a slice of cake?
It can be.
So
depending on who's cutting.
Let me just say that portion control is a myth propagated by white people to keep black people down.
What is your best seller?
So basically, you're saying that not to try to eat 2 bones of ribs, to just eat the whole slab.
Eat the whole slab. Eat the whole slab.
Without sauce.
Without sauce. No sauce. Sauce is an abomination.
Without sauce.
A slab of ribs from IB Smoking Barbecue, smoked meats, and 2 slices of bread.
I don't get no bread. I ain't never got no bread.
That's to make a sandwich, man. Let's make a sandwich.
So I gotta buy my own bread?
No, I would give you like the heel.
You ain't never gave me no bread.
I'd give you the heel. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about how this beautiful, wonderful, sweet, and amazing woman is going to bring some desserts next Wednesday to the show.
Sounds like a winner to me.
How about 2 Wednesdays from now? Because I'm out of town this Wednesday. next Wednesday.
I think we can make that happen.
Okay.
I don't know for
Definitely
sure if
bring
Rock is
dessert
going to be here,
to the
but my
station.
mouth will be right here in the station.
But here's the catch. In order for us to get desserts, we need a main course. You can't just eat desserts. You know your mom said you get no dessert till you finish your food.
What? Life's too short. Eat dessert first.
No.
See, again, you keep pushing these myths by white people to keep us down, man.
I say we need some chicken wings at least.
So you want to bring that up? You want to talk about the smoked chicken wings you got?
That only got one of. You want to be giving it to everybody
You
else.
got one whole rack of chicken wings and didn't take none home. That's all I'm saying.
Don't be putting my personal business
You didn't take none at home. You didn't share with the guru. You didn't share with nobody. You took all them and you didn't share with nobody. That's all I'm saying.
You put my personal business out.
But I will say this: the young man we were talking about in the front of the show, Troy Brody, was supposed to be on the show that night and didn't come. So whatever happened is on him. I can't,
Well, we're gonna get out of here. Before we go, can you give them some contact info so they know how to get in touch with some CC Sweets?
I can be called or text at 443-499-3355.
Do you deliver?
For a fee.
All right.
So let's talk about the sweet potato pound cake.
Yes.
Does it have sweet potatoes in it?
Yes, everything is made from scratch. So I use fresh sweet potatoes and make it into a pound cake. And then I also do a glaze on top.
Do you use brown sugar?
I can't tell you all that. If I told you, I have to kill you.
Because I'm telling you right now, I'm starting to feel a certain kind of way. Matter of fact, Rock, put some Barry White music on.
You want a lot, don't you?
And then let's talk about this sweet potato pound cake.
You want a lot.
Baby, oh baby.
And what's your biggest seller?
Peach cobbler.
Is sweet potato pound cake close?
Yes.
Because I'm going to put it over the edge. Because let me tell you something. Years ago, I worked in Social Security Administration, and they got a new kitchen staff. And there was this guy who was the chef who ran the kitchen. He made sweet potato cornbread. And he had this knucklehead working with him, this guy named Phil Mark. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but I hear that he got hit upside the head with a brick and became a Colts fan. But whatever.
But is that the reason he didn't wear the tutu?
That because he's a scam artist, man. He's a Colts fan. But the sweet potato cornbread and the sweet potato pound cake, I need that in my life. If I can't get the cornbread, I'm gonna take the pound cake.
I will make sure you get that.
And what is your name again?
My name is Carla.
Carla, are you married?
I am not.
Because if this pound cake is everything it is, I'm gonna drop down on one knee, get a ring, and propose to the cake. I just want you to know that right now.
I got you. I've had women drop down on one knee and ask me to marry them over this cake.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's when the stuff is good. When people start proposing to the food, that's when it's good. Well, Miss Carla, I want you to know that I'm looking forward to tasting your sweet potato pound cake. I'm not a big fan of peach cobbler. I love apple cobbler. It's just a thing. I love peaches. I love cobbler. Together, they just, I'm sorry, just don't work for me. But whatever you bring in here, I'm sure I'm going to eat, and I will endorse you every week on this show.
Thank you so much.
Because I'm not like Roxy. I share.
I'm sharing currently. I'm sharing information to CC Sweets.
Look, I know there are people who love peaches and peach cobbler. There are people in the Georgia, Atlanta area that are like, they think everything's about the peaches. And I'm sure there are other people who like peach cobbler. But you give me some apple cobbler and or blueberry pie and or sweet potato pie, and you can sell me for a nickel. I'll tell you right now, Miss Carla, like I told Phyllis Hyman back in the 90s, early 90s, actually late 80s. I will move to your house and you can pimp me for $1. Just let me have some of that once a night. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
We are talking about peach cobbler, right?
We are talking. No, we're talking about sweet potato pound cake. Now I'm expecting Miss Carla, whom I've never met. I'm expecting Miss Carla to be an expert on desserts. Is that fair to say?
It's kind of fair.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato.
All right, right then and there, you got my money. You got my money. That's it. That's the test.
Do black people even eat pumpkin pie?
There are
I
some.
do know a few that do.
There's some, and then there are black people who endorse Trump. You know, I put them in the same
And
category.
they're the ones that eat pumpkin pie.
They're the ones that eat pumpkin pie. They're the ones that eat pumpkin pie. It's a sad state of affairs, America. Sad state of affairs. But anyway, Miss Carla, thank you. We will look forward to having you in studio 2 weeks from today.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Bring the food. And since Troy King Brody will be unavailable due to his impending surgery, you ain't got to bring enough for anybody but me and Rock.
I will definitely do that.
You the woman. You the woman.
You the man.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I had something to do with this.
Yeah,
you
whatever.
The man too.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah. You too. Yeah.
Give them your contact information one more time so they know how to order them some cakes.
I can be reached at 443-499-3355.
And what's the name of your business?
CC Sweets, where happiness is homemade.
You got a Facebook? You got a Facebook page?
I do not.
We're gonna make that happen. We'll get your Facebook page and we'll link you to I Be Smoking and Nitelifer online.
And that way we can get some more sales. Do we get commission?
We'll talk about that offline.
You tell them. Just make sure you bring that daggone sweet potato cornbread. I mean, sweet potato.
Why I have to be sweet potato pie? Why I gotta be what you want?
It's my show.
But that's not fair.
We're not gonna talk about fair. I'm gonna tell you like my mother.
I want no sweet potato
Okay, look, let me tell you like my mother told me growing up. Fair is in America. This ain't America. America's outside that door. Yeah, sweet potato pound cake. Sweet potato pound cake, baby. Baby, oh baby. See, I'm starting to feel a certain kind of way now.
You can't get enough of the love for that sweet potato pound
cake. Oh, baby. You need to turn the lights down up in here. We have a moment. We have a moment.
You know it's two dudes in the studio, right?
Well, we talking about sweet potato pound cake.
We will not be turning any lights down in the studio.
Like the song said, but I'm talking about Shaft.
Come on, sing it one time, Yale. You ready?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Go, Yale.
My darling, I can't get enough of your sweet potato pound cake.
All right, well, we thank you, Miss CC Sweets, man. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to you bringing some sweet potato pound cake in. Maybe you'll bring a variety of samples so we can see exactly how beneficial the business is.
I sure will. Thank you all for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please enjoy the show.
I will.
All right.
So anybody that didn't get that information, feel free to put it in the chat or call 443-267-6558 and Rock will give you all the information again. And, you know, we get this young lady hooked up and get her business up and running and rolling.
Yeah, we're going to run some specials. We're going to have like some WMG specials or something.
I like that.
So you can get some sweet potato pound cake.
Here's one right now.
What's that?
You buy a sweet potato pound cake and I get one free.
I swear I hate your man.
What?
I do not like your man.
If I was a mathematical genius, I'd be working for NASA.
Or Donald Trump.
Nope.
They calculate all the votes, man, that's going to win. Listen, there got to be some math geniuses over there because they count the votes that ain't even there.
So let's just get into it because let's get into this. Let's get into
the DNC.
We're gonna talk about the big the big news of this week, which is the Democratic National Convention
Yes.
that's taking place in
Currently
Chicago,
speaking.
Illinois,
Yes.
as we speak.
Yes. Did you see Broadway Joe on Monday, man? He
So
was sharp as a tick.
he was Joe Cool. If you go back and look at old Peanuts cartoons, Charlie Brown Peanuts cartoons back in the day when they made Snoopy Joe Cool, he had them aviator sunglasses on
with the scarf,
just hanging out. If that ain't Joe Biden,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. Joe came in and laid it down and basically said, I'm not going to get there with you this time. I got you over the hump. I did this. I did that. I lined this up. Things are moving. We changed the country. We saved the country. People don't understand how important what happened in 2020 when America elected a president over a clown. He saved the country.
Yes, I agree.
Joe Biden gets his props.
Very much so. Let's give it to him.
Joe, give it.
We love you, Joe.
Because people forget. First of all, the man came off the couch. The man was mourning the death of his oldest son. The man came off the couch and said, America needs to be saved because this foolishness that we got going on right now has to end. COVID was running rampant. The economy had tanked. The great economy that Donald Trump professes that he lorded over, he saved America with this $1 trillion tax cut to the richest people and gave ordinary people $200 extra in their paycheck that year.
That was only a one-time thing.
One-time thing. But all of his supporters think that was the greatest thing since sliced sweet potato pound cake.
But what they didn't realize is the money was already there when he took office, so it had to be dispersed anyway. He didn't do no miraculous creation. He created the money. The money was already there when he got in office.
He presided over a fake tax break when he really gave money to special interest big business. It created the largest deficit in the history of this country. And we're talking about a country that survived a recession and the Great Depression in the 30s. This man created the largest deficit in the history of the United States economy. So it's amazing to me how many people support him and still want to have him be their president. The man has said things out of his face in public that would make any party leader, Democrat or Republican, cringe before 2016. There's stuff that this man has gotten away with and said and done that was so disqualifying for anybody else who would run for president. And this is the standard line that I use and a lot of people use. And I don't have a single problem saying it again today.
How many times can you grab a woman's private part and get away with it?
Well, I mean, that's a different story. That's a whole different thing, you know, that's depending on the privacy of your own home. But according to going by what he said. But no, what I always say is, what if it had been Obama? Right?
He'd have been, what's the name of that jail that's supposed to be like maximum super security, that they take all of the public enemy number ones too?
The Supermax.
Yeah, that's what Obama will be.
He would be under that jail. 34 convictions, found culpable in harassment, sexual harassment of at least one woman, paid off a porn star to keep his sexual encounter a secret, had his family in office getting money from his being on being in the White House, being behind the Resolute desk, being president, There's little things people don't want to remember, and all of a sudden it's not important. Ivanka had a clothing line that was endorsed by Trump and his staff members while he was in office. That shit's illegal. Can't do it. You can't. Not supposed to. Can't say you can't because he sure enough got away with it. You are not supposed to profit from your presidency, and your family members are not supposed to profit from your presidency. But Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, got $1 billion from Saudi Arabia for I don't even know what, but that's okay. But to get back to make the main thing, Joe Biden came in and restored normalcy. So we give Joe his props and we thank Joe. Joe also, let's not forget, put the first black woman on the Supreme Court, had the first female vice president who was not only eminently qualified, just happened to be a woman of color. Joe Biden has come up to the plate and knocked it out the park with the infrastructure bill that is building bridges and fixing roadways and expanding things across this country. Every state in the union has benefited from the infrastructure bill. Yet, every Republican senator and most Republican congresspeople at the time voted against it. But once the bill was passed and the money started flowing, every one of them took credit for bringing money to their districts, bringing money to their states. Joe Biden did that. Donald Trump didn't do that. But Joe came in first night. Everybody gave him his flowers. He didn't need them, but he got his flowers. Well deserved so. Then last night.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Are we talking about the Mrs. or the Mr. first?
We ain't going to talk about them yet. We're going to talk about the enthusiasm.
Senator also Brooks.
The whole convention, the roll call for the states to cast their electoral votes. Let me tell you something, man. I'd clown you, but I honestly believe that you are one of the best DJs I've ever had the privilege of dealing with. And that's not just no. I mean, that's not even. I'm not even worried about the anti-private eye trying to come at me for anything like that. The gangster assassin in her, her penknife, she threatened to cut my legs at the back of the Achilles. But that DJ last night, he got the whole city of Chicago hyped. Every state had at least one song, and every song was different. And the mood never got low. Like it was just high and energized. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I'm honest to God, people who know me, like my Aunt Zelda knows me, people who are watching the stream now who know me, I'm now very emotional. I don't know what it is. I get emotional. And things that are important and wonderful get to me. And when I turn that on and they were hyped and they were bumping and they were calling out their votes and they were endorsing Kamala Harris, man, I felt pride just run up my spine. And I almost got teary-eyed. I was holding it back because it was the most excitement for a Democratic convention I have seen in my 62 years. 2008 was amazing. 2008 was amazing for a lot of reasons. Barack Obama and his family and his campaign were amazing. We had come out of a huge financial crisis as a country. He brought hope, restored just a lot of faith in this government when he was nominated and then when he became president. But for convention, it was a pride thing, right? Like we're watching a decent man, a decent black man, family man, become the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. At that point, I had a lot of hope. I had a lot of belief. But come on, back in the back of everybody's mind was like, yeah, maybe, they're going to give him a shot. But he did it. And it just, but in 2008, we were just like it was just a prideful thing. Last night, after what we've been through with 4 years of Trump and the craziness thereafter, with the vote was stolen and we gotta marginalize people. We're talking about people being different. Mexicans coming across the border every day. There's a different caravan of that caravan ain't got here yet. First of all, somebody told him a buzzword of MS-13, and he turned MS-13 into the biggest boogeyman ever. And MS-13 is a gang. It's an American gang made up of Mexicans who are here in this country now. They're not in Mexico. They're in the United States. But he had everyone believing that it was a caravan of killers, gang MS-13, coming to this country to kill, rape, pillage, and maim good people of America. After all that bullshit, after January 20th, January 6th, 2021, after all that, like the energy that filled the room when Joe Biden said, I'm handing the baton off to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and the Democratic Party is just so hyped up because you got two good people in every state, and that DJ had music for each state, and some of the music was specific to the states. And brother, let me tell you, when they got to New York and you see Spike Lee's little ass up there, by the way, Spike Lee is about 4'2", and he can hold a donut over his head and the gangster assassin can't reach it. But I digress. But when they start playing Jay-Z's New York, New York, whew, it was a thing, man. It was a thing. It was a thing. The energy of that moment was a thing. Every state, everybody was dancing and everybody was excited. And it wasn't just, it wasn't performance art. There's energy in this party again, that things are going to continue going the right way. Kamala scares the living stew beans out of not only the MAGA crowd, but the king of the MAGAs, Donald Trump. They don't know what to do with themselves. This man is seriously standing in a puddle of piss every day when when they tell him what's in the news, because he can't read. He's not reading any newspapers. But he knows his numbers are tanking. He knows his VP candidate is the most unpopular choice for VP candidate the Republicans have ever had. And they survived Dan Quayle. So his approval ratings are going in the toilet. And with that two-piece of the convention being hyped and the music just bringing everybody up off of their feet, when the music stopped and the votes were counted, they brought in Michelle Obama.
Did you see how fine she was? I promise you that was the finest first lady we've ever had.
Ever. I mean, she may never be as popular as George Bush's mother, who, is on the $1 bill. If you push the $1 bill out and look at it, that's his mom. But Michelle is fine. She carries herself with grace and dignity, and she's got that look and walk of I wish.
Yes. And then just to hear her speak, man. Oh my God.
And again, that's before she opens her mouth.
Yeah.
When she opens her mouth and she what comes out of her mouth is straight business. You know, she said a lot of encouraging things in 8 years when she was first lady. She caught grief because she tried to get little fat kids to stop eating junk food and eat healthy. She caught grief because she started a campaign of Bring Our Girls Back when the schoolgirls in Africa were kidnapped by the extremists in Africa. Everything she did was for the betterment of people in this country. She has a lot of cachet, a lot of gravitas when she speaks. For those who don't know, when she and Barack Obama met, he worked for her. Talk about a come up. He'll tell anybody he married up. And I'm a big Obama fan. But this woman, she got it all. And she laid it down and she put it out there and she told it like it is. And let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. If you are a Kamala Harris supporter and fan, Democratic Party member who believes in what this country should be and can be, there's no way you're going to be convinced to vote for Trump. If you're a Trump supporter who follows all of his antics and everything he does and says does not turn you off, even though he talks against himself all the time, there's nothing that anybody can say or do to turn you away from him. I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. It's more than a cult. It's crazy. They don't believe their own eyes. They don't believe their own ears. No matter what, they're going to follow this man to the pits of hell. So nothing Michelle said last night is going to change anybody's mind. Either way, who are either pro-Trump or pro-Harris. But there were 8.1 million people who voted for Barack Obama in 2008 who did not vote for him, did not vote for Joe Biden in 2020. They voted for Trump. Now, I don't know what that is. They either voted for Trump or they stayed home. Now, in 2016, not 2020, 2016. I don't know what that number looked like in 2020, but Michelle's speech last night was straight for those 8.1 million people, plus the people who, for whatever reason, have not made up their mind which way they're going to go yet. She told you from the very beginning to the end of her speech, she was there to put shit straight. Let's put it in order. That man is, for some reason, afraid of two highly successful people who just happen to be black being president of the United States. As Barack and Kamala. And when she said, has anybody told him that the job he's applying for is one of those black jobs? Son, I stood up and applauded in my living room by myself, watching TV alone. It was a powerful speech. It was a powerful moment. She brought it home and explained it to the nth level. The antics that this man has done for 8 years, the 4 years leading up, the 4 years he was in office, the 2 years before he was in office, and so 10 years, and the 4 years since his presidency ended. She said, not only is that unacceptable. It's unpresidential. And if you're a Trump supporter, you don't give a damn what she said. If you're a Democratic supporter of someone who supported Obama, someone who supported Joe Biden, supports Kamala Harris, it reinforced what you already knew. But if you're sitting on the fence and you're trying to decide, for whatever reasons, why you're trying to decide at this point, when she said that, it had to strike a nerve. You know what? Yeah. Talking about people's looks, talking about people, being concerned about you look better than the other candidate. What kind of narcissistic bullshit? When she said this Goldilocks syndrome, Goldilocks complex, let me get it right. The Goldilocks complex of this is too hot, this is too cold, this should be mine. She hit the nail right on the head. And people who, again, for whatever reason you would want to not be sure of who you're going to vote for those people, she put it out there. This is what it's going to, this is your choice. You can go back to the clown show of what the reality is. And that is, you have a person who was a prosecutor running against a person who has been convicted of 34 felonies. What kind of country do you want to have? And if that didn't put it squarely in the middle of your plate, at the end of her speech, she said, let me also say one thing. I didn't also come out here to tell you like it is. It's my profound honor to bring out the man who's the love of my life.
My life. Oh my God. When she said that. Black love is best.
And when he strutted out there walking like, yeah, I'm the one that killed Osama bin Laden. And they looked at each other, and that embrace, that shit was real. That went straight to your soul. You don't have to be a black person, but if you are a black person and you know what black love is about, that shit was real as real can be.
Yeah, it gets no realer than that.
That look in his eye and her eye was like, baby, I have missed you these 10 minutes we've been apart. Right?
And do you know it gets even bigger than that, man? They said he has not been on the campaign trail no other time other than when he was campaigning for office. He made the statement yesterday. He said, where Kamala go, we go.
Hello.
That's powerful.
Hello.
That's powerful, man.
He's bringing all that with him. But to go back to that embrace and that hug and that intimate moment, that the shell of that intimate moment they shared with America, not to mention the 40,000 people inside the damn arena, or whatever the number was inside the arena. That was real. Now you juxtapose that, and anyone listening, you can Google it. You can Google Donald and Melania Trump RNC Convention 2024. Their kiss and embrace, and I'm not even trying to throw hyperbole at the situation. Their kiss and embrace was like two cousins who haven't seen each other in 40 minutes, but they have to make nice in front of grandma because they've been feuding. So they give this peck on the cheek like, I hate your ass, you know? But it was this couple, this truly American couple of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama handing off their speeches to the convention was a thing of beauty, man. It was amazing. And what really caught my eye first is when he strutted out, they gave the bang bang, like, hey baby, how you doing? Right? They gave this, you know, it was real. It's nothing rehearsed. It's nothing BS. It's real.
And no teleprompter. He
None. Spoke from the heart.
Both of them.
And we know how Barack Obama is on record as saying his speeches, a speech should be about telling a story and conveying what you want said. It's not about reading off a teleprompter. It's not about hitting high points, bulleted points. It's about telling a story. And he told his story. And he said, first thing he said out his mouth was, I must be the craziest man in the world to come out here and follow Michelle Obama's speech. Because she laid it down. And not only did she lay it down, she put it out there. She paved the road and said, okay, baby, it's yours. Take it.
And did you hear what he said, man? I haven't been here in 16 years. I know it's hard to believe because I look so good.
He said, I haven't aged a bit. I haven't aged a bit.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. And last night, I was glued to the TV. I gave it my undivided attention. I'm talking about I wasn't on TikTok. I wasn't on nothing. I was glued to the TV, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I didn't lose interest not one time. Man.
No, it was not just entertainment. It was captivating, right? Like it was something that you can't explain unless you experienced it. Now, the night before, I had a lot going on, and by the time I turned on the television for the convention, I'm sorry, not last night, the night before, when I turned on the television, Raphael Warnock from Georgia had I caught the last half of his speech to the convention. And that he took you back to the Baptist church and he laid it out there. And he talked about, our children and grandchildren and how important this is and what we're trying to do. And he told you, we're not going back. We're not going back. Make America great again. This isn't him, this is me. When the hell was America greater than it is now? Right? And then I saw AOC's speech on YouTube, and I saw what's the young lady representative from Texas who called Marjorie Taylor Greene the bad body, alliteration, butch body bitch. She nailed it. But let me tell you something, man. You're a boxing fan. There's a lot of boxing fans out here listening right now, maybe even watching right now. When you go to a prize fight, you ain't going to watch one fight. You go to watch the preliminary. You go and for your ticket, you get preliminary fights, and they could be good. They be really good. But when the main event is the main event, and the two heavyweights or the two top card people come out, you expect the best boxing that night. And last night, the preliminaries were the night before, but Michelle and Barack came out there and they rocked the house. And the lead up, the whole thing was so well put together. Because he told you straight up and down, nobody needs to go into the poorhouse now because Obamacare. Now, as he said, since it's lost some of its popularity, they no longer call it Obamacare. Yeah. He broke it all that down. He made sure everyone knew. He let you know what he did. He let you know that the first thing he did as nominee, his best thing he ever did was to select Joe Biden to be his running mate, and they became partners and brothers. And that shit was real. You think Barack Obama straight out the box from Chicago and the Senate had the experience on an international stage that Joe Biden had for serving in Congress and being on the foreign affairs committees and defense committees for decades. Joe had that. Joe brought that to the ticket, and Joe was successful with it, and it helped make Barack Obama the best president he could be, which is clearly, despite what the Trump people say, despite what Trump has said repeatedly, Barack Obama is in the top 5 of presidents to ever serve this country. Now, I'm old. I can go back. There are people listening and go back further than me. I don't remember any of John F. Kennedy's policies. And I've talked about this a lot. I remember a lot of Lyndon Johnson's policies. And Lyndon Johnson was a whole lot of things before he became president of the United States. But the Civil Rights Act happened under Johnson. Love him or hate him, he was a very effective president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is the only person to have been elected president more than twice. He was elected president 4 times. Behind FDR being president 4 times and dying in office, no one can now serve more than 2 terms as president. Abraham Lincoln saved the Union, preserved the country. These are top people. Whatever their personal lifestyles, whatever were, these are serious people. Barack Obama's in that number. And he came out and told you, Joe Biden will go down in history as being the president that pulled this country back from the brink of an allegory, of a dictatorship. Can't deny it. Joe Biden was a very effective president. He got stuff done that Barack Obama, 1, couldn't get done, and 2, wasn't ever going to be allowed to get done. But we got to give Joe his props, and Barack did that. And then Barack broke down his policy, his presidency, and what made him so popular. And then he set the stage, laid it out there for who Kamala Harris is and what she can be and what he expects of her and what we should expect. And another moment that got me is when he was talking about Donald Trump and some of his policies, and a certain segment of the audience started booing, and he hit him with what he hit him with 4 years ago. Don't boo. Vote. Do not boo. Vote. And Michelle, what we can do something. If you got to do more, do it. Get up off of that thing and better. Volunteer, make phone calls, knock on doors, do whatever's necessary. Get your neighbors out the house. Make sure they're registered. If they aren't registered, take them to register. They can't get to the polling place, take them to vote. This shit is important. Because as you brought up to me about 2 months ago, and is now all in the news, Project 2025 is real. It's now called Agenda 47. The freedoms that you think you enjoy as a citizen of the United States within the borders of this country are about to be ripped right out from under you. And if you think they're not serious about that shit, you're fooling yourself, because it's real. Women's reproductive rights, they're going to throw that away. Donald Trump told you in an interview, if a woman has an abortion, she should face some sort of legal consequence. She should be arrested, no matter the circumstances. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about a man who said he's going to be a dictator on day 1 only. We see how he is. He is so addicted to the power of being president that he didn't want to let that go after 4 years and being voted out of office. So if he gets dictatorial powers on day 1, What makes you think on day 2 he's going to let that shit go? Because when you become dictator, you can set whatever you want. Putin's been president of the United States, of Russia, since halfway through the first um, Obama presidency administration, and he was president of Russia for years before that. He stepped down for 2 years and put his puppet in place, and he ran everything through that guy. Kim Jong-un over in North Korea, he's not giving up power. Dictators get those powers, they don't let them go. But again, that convention last night, son, that was something. If you have an opinion on that and want to call in, I don't get a lot of callers, but if you want to call in and talk about that, we can do that. The number is 443-267-6558. Please call in. Let's talk about it. If it didn't jazz you up, tell me why. If it did jazz you up, tell me how. I want to know. But talk about something else real quick. This has been bugging me for weeks, and you and I have talked about it, Rock. These people who are we'll call them LIBs because that's the new term. Low information brothers. They think they know everything because they've seen stuff online or other people have said things to them and make them think they know everything. They are anti-Kamala Harris because the one that I heard or I read on my page, someone posted, she has a problem with black men. And when I asked this person to elaborate, tell me what you mean. What makes you think she has a problem with black men? The reply back was, first of all, she locked them up. Well, she was never the police, so she didn't lock anybody up. She was a district attorney and a prosecutor. She prosecuted cases that were presented to her, people, black, white, brown, yellow, whatever. If she felt they were guilty of crimes that required them to go to jail, she did her damn job. But what people don't understand and don't dig deeper enough to find out is she created a policy and enforced a policy that nonviolent, young, small-time drug offenders, dealers, whatever. She created an intervention program that if the person pleaded guilty, she would send them to school, teach them a skill, have them enrolled in the program, that when they completed the program, their records would be expunged and they could become decent members of society, get jobs, get out there and do things. She didn't, look, this is going to strike a nerve here in Baltimore, but she did not hold the parents accountable for what their children did. What she did do was say, you finish this program, you come out on the other side successfully, we're going to help you out. She initiated that shit. She was the first prosecutor in this country to require police officers to have body cameras. You know how many cops have now been lost their jobs because the shit they said they did not match up what was on the camera? We would not know about so many things that have happened to people, regular citizens in this country, not just black people, but citizens in this country, had Kamala not been on the forefront of making sure that was a thing. Now, police police departments all over every jurisdiction in this country require their officers to have some sort of body-worn camera. Hold the police accountable. She's not pro defund the police, even though I agree a lot of money going to police departments needs to be diverted back into the community. But a lot of that money can be spent for those body cameras. A lot of that money can be spent to teach police officers to actually police and not persecute people. I got friends and have had family who are police officers, and I love every one of them. It's a tough job. It's not as easy as putting on a badge and putting on a gun and getting in your car and just go and arrest people. There's a lot that comes with that job. You've got to be a counselor. You got to be a big brother or big sister. You got to be a first responder to medical situations, and you got to put your life on the line at any given minute. A lot of people take that shit and do whatever they want to do with it. The young lady that was murdered a few weeks ago, who was having a psychological episode. Her mother called the police to say, my daughter's having problems. And the deputy sheriff in Illinois went into her house, and when she was explaining what was going on and they realized she was in jeopardy, she was moving a pot from the stove to the sink. And this man said, if you don't put that pot down, I'll fucking shoot you in your face. And she said, I'm going to pray for you. And he shot and killed this woman. We know this because of the body-worn camera for the police officers involved showed exactly that. So you can trace that back to Kamala. You can say whatever you want about what she does or what she did and didn't do. But if you do the research, if you do the hard work, and I don't mean just Googling it, like read newspaper articles that are out there about things she did. She was damn effective and damn good. And then she goes to the Senate and she held people's feet to the fire. Not some bullshit trumped up stuff that the Republicans are pulling now when they have these hearings. She brought Kavanaugh in for a hearing when he was trying to become the Supreme Court justice, and she made him answer questions, and she made him uncomfortable. Because one thing that people like Trump and support Trump don't want to do is be put in front of a black woman who knows what she's talking about and has all the facts. Any person listening to this show right now who was blessed to have a mother, a black mother, pull them up when they did something wrong and they knew they did something wrong, but their mother found out. That's what she brings to the table when she was in the Senate. And that's what she'll do when she's president. All this bullshit that Trump and his people are saying, oh, she'll be eaten alive by leaders on the world stage. Putin made Donald Trump his bitch. Let's just put it out there. Putin made Donald Trump his bitch. Whatever he wanted to do, Trump endorsed it or stood by and let it happen. And there's no way Kamala Harris is going to be bullied or pushed into a corner by anybody on the world stage. Any leaders on the world stage. Is not in her background, is not in her DNA. And the empathy and intelligence and care that she has for people in this country. She's shown it. As you said earlier, Rock, Angela Also Brooks, who's running for Senate from Maryland, who's been a protege of Kamala for the last 19 years. The young lady that I talked about earlier, and I apologize, America, I forgot my notebook. Don't remember the young lady's name. The congresswoman from Texas, when she gave her speech Monday night, she said when she was sworn in and she went to her first meeting in the White House to meet the vice president, and she had second thoughts in her head about, did I do the right thing? Should I be here? She said Kamala looked at her and said, I see something's troubling you. What is it? Let's talk about it. See, people who are connected with people can see that. People who care about people can see that. And people who are strong and powerful will take that and try to affect change with that. And that's what she did. She talked to her. She pulled her off of the edge. This woman talked about it. She pulled her off the edge and told her it's going to be all right. And if there's anything I can do to make your job easier, to help you, I'm right here. Let's do this. And she meant that. We're not talking about the type of person that has been presented to you by Trump and the MAGA group. I'm telling you right now, there are Republicans who are sick and tired of what their party has become. The mayor of Mesa, Arizona, came on stage last night and told you that too. Their party was hijacked by this MAGA crowd. These evil people with separate agendas are ginning up the lower IQ people to hate everything that is anti-Trump. And they send them money all the time. Barack told you that. Michelle told you that. The Democratic Party is trying to prove that to you. Michael Jackson's song, They Don't Care About Us, that's who that song is about. The Democratic Party is supposed to stand for what can we do for everybody. The Republican Party is now standing for what can everybody do for me. Tell you what else is telling to me, what was amazing to me. I'm gonna go back to the convention. Now, I did not watch the Republican convention. Now I'm gonna sit here and lie and tell you that I did. I didn't. But I have watched clips and I have watched news articles about it. The one thing that's amazing, the amazing difference is, and this is something you should think about, there was not a single former vice president, former president, former member of the cabinet in the Republican Party that came up and spoke on behalf of Donald Trump, spoke at all in the convention. Right now, George W. Bush is still alive. He's still out there. Dick Cheney, still alive, still out there. Mike Pence, still alive, still out there. No member of Trump's cabinet is coming back for a second bite of the apple, and none of them spoke at the convention. Not Lindsey, not Mitch McConnell's wife, not any of his chiefs of staff, not any of his former generals. None of them came up except for the crazy short. Oh my God, the man's name's right on the tip of my tongue. None of them came out and supported him except for that one guy who the FBI arrested. This weekend, we've got Barack Obama, Joe Biden, of course. God bless Jimmy Carter. He can't get out there, but his grandson came out there. Bill Clinton is speaking tonight. Hillary Clinton spoke last night or night before last. There are people out there who know what you think you know, what you don't know, who know what the reality is, and they're out there trying to tell you. Now I'm going to say something that's real personal to me, and it is what it is. My page, everything I put on my page is usually open to public for people to see. Whether you follow me, whether you're one of my 3,000 followers or whatever. I don't know how many friends that translates to, real and or Facebook friends, people who are just hucksters who have fake accounts, catfishing, whatever. I got over 3,000. I put my stuff out there for anybody to see. So one of these people who's a Facebook friend, when I posted about how proud I was of Michelle, this person posted a picture of Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Jill Biden, and Michelle Obama. And the caption on the photograph was, "These three men have done more to separate people in this country." So personally, yeah, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Joe Biden, and Jill Biden. And the caption was, "These three men have done more to separate people in this country than anybody."
Wow.
And what I responded was, see what you're not going to do on my page. I removed the comment. I removed the picture. I went to his page and I threw up there what I told you about 2 weeks ago. Block a Zulu. And then I blocked him and cut him. I got no time for that bullshit. And since I cut him, I'm not even going to put his name out there because he ain't worth it. But what I will say is there's a person who follows me on Facebook, is a Ravens fan, Orioles fan, Baltimore sports fan. His Facebook name, and I don't care, you call it bullying, whatever, I'm going to put it out there. His Facebook name is John B. Moore. And I made a post about HBCUs. And this MF went on my page, and it's still up there. I didn't get rid of it yet. He listed 3 screenshots explaining how historically Black colleges and universities were mostly founded by white people. And I responded like, and what's your point? Like, seriously, like, what is the point of that? And his reply was something like, yeah, the reality of what it is not as it's portrayed, or some bullshit like that. I said, so what are you saying? You do understand that Black people, when these colleges and universities were founded, for the most part, Black people did not have advocacy to build and create their own universities. You do understand that, right? A lot of colleges and universities, that are black colleges and universities, historically black colleges and universities, today were land grant colleges and universities. Morgan State was a military barracks. Most of the schools in the South that were A&M behind their name were farms, a plot of land, because white people in America in those days were definitely afraid of intelligent, educated black people who knew their rights. So it wasn't like there was money laying around. There were no Tyler Perrys back then that has millions of dollars coming in every day that could stand up a university. So yes, black colleges and universities were founded by either well-meaning, well-connected, allied white people, or were thrown a bone by governments in certain states. And the schools and universities were named after white people for there's a large amount of those too. But so what? It's not how you started, it's where it's what you do with what you're given and what you do with it. And I asked him as a follow-up, so are you discounting the importance of these universities? Are you discounting the quality of the education of these universities? Are you discounting the effectiveness of these universities? And his reply was, no, it's about historic reference or some BS to that effect. And I said, let me ask you a question because I want to know. Where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to college? Where'd you get your education? And he gave the answer that I knew the answer as I wrote it. As I hit send, I knew he was going to come back with the exact thing he came back with, which was all over the world. So in other words, this SOB is not educated. He may have been in the military. That's debatable because anybody can say they were anything on Facebook. You never really know. Because on Facebook, I'm 6'3". But it's so easy for people who don't have for them to throw shade at people who do. You don't see this, Rock, but one of the people following us tonight on YouTube made the comment, correct. It was illegal for us to even know how to read back then. Allies who thought against this took action. What point he was trying to make, I will not understand. And his comment that I just brought up about his education being from all around the world is exactly my point. She says, that means I barely graduated from high school. Actually, I dispute that comment because it doesn't mean he graduated from anything. But you got to look at that. When I talk to certain people, and I tried not to engage with Trump supporters, but sometimes I just have to get in there. They say things that are so triggering that I have to say something to them. And one of the things I ask is, and again, let me also qualify this. Time out. Let me also qualify this. This also goes for the LIBs and people who should know better. There are people who are black people in this country who have applied, and I've talked about this before, who've applied a purity test for Obama and for Kamala about, are they really black? Because Kamala's mother was Indian. Is he really black? Because his father was Nigerian, his mother was a white woman. Are they really black? You know we've talked about this, Rock.
Yeah.
There's
Did you see Dr. Eric Jerome Dickey had to correct the lady when she kept pronouncing Kamala's name wrong, and when they said something to her about it, she said, "I will call her whatever I want," and he went in on her.
no, I didn't, but I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, he ripped her a new one. A new one. I'm telling you, you know how when Trump got in office, you know, those that don't look like you and I got confidence and wanted to come out the woodworks and was saying everything with their chest. Black people are definitely saying that, especially women. We will not be quieted right now. We're saying what it is.
We are not going back.
Yes. And we standing on that soapbox and we letting you know how we feel.
And then let's be real. That whole comment that woman made, that shit, people call it a dog whistle. It's not a dog whistle. It's a blatant statement of racial superiority. If you have a dog, you can name your dog whatever you want, and that dog will learn its name and come to you when you call it. So they don't think of us as being on their same equal plane. So she can call Kamala Harris whatever she wants to. Donald Trump does it. Kamala, Kamala. He'll every name in the book he wants to, he'll use. But it's the black people that irk me the most when they say, "Oh, well, she ain't black." Who the fuck are you to apply a racial purity test to anybody? Because there is nobody that I know of in this country whose ancestors were brought here in slavery. There's not a single one that I know of, have ever met, have ever read about that today can trace all of their lineage back to the slaves that came over on the boat without any white blood in their DNA. Our people were abused, raped, and just used as less than property. And throughout the years, people actually did fall in love and make families. And I posted this on my page 2-3 weeks ago. My great grandfather's father was a white Irishman. You can look at me when my hair's longer. You look at my hair. You can see I'm not direct descendant of African descent. There's white people in my family. You can look at you and see that probably your uncle was a white man, you light-skinned mother. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have white blood. Some of us have Asian blood. Some of us have Hispanic blood, Mexican blood. Everybody black I know in America, in Maryland, from I'll even go for from Maryland to South Carolina, got some Indian in their blood, right? Some native people's blood is in our blood. How dare anybody black apply a racial purity test to Kamala Harris? And when you do that and say she ain't black, I ask the same question I asked this John B. Moore person. Where'd you go to school? Because if Kamala Harris didn't identify as black, her non-black ass sure went to Howard University. Her non-black ass sure did apply to and pledge and is a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. If you can match her credentials, her education, her background, and you can surpass what she has, then you can have that conversation. But you sure enough can't be validating that. It's bullshit. And it shows that there are people who walk amongst us that Harriet Tubman would have left behind. And when you discount all that she's done and say, well, her mother was Indian, so she's not really black. Then one, you show me you're low educated, you have low information, low intelligence, because you're being led down that path by someone who doesn't give a shit about what your real opinion is and what your worth is, because they've set you against your own. I'm proud every day when I look at Barack and Michelle Obama. Did I study at Columbia University? No, I just lived in Columbia, Maryland. Do I have a law degree? No, but I can spell the words law and the words degree, and I know what they mean. Do I have a background of one wife that I've been with forever and have a loving family, loving relationship with? No, no to any of that. But I can look at this man with pride and respect because he does. There was a time a Republican man could not even run for president if he had ever been divorced. Ronald Reagan is the president that changed that. Ronald Reagan was the first man to be elected president that was divorced. Now you got a guy who was president and running again, who cheated on his first wife with his second wife, cheated on his second wife with I don't know how many other women before marrying his third wife, and cheated on his third wife with a porn star. But Barack Obama had to be one time married, still married, loving relationship, kids, family man, educated, superiorly educated, was the president of the Harvard Law School. But to some black people, because his mother was white, he ain't really black. Kamala Harris, we've run down her background and her CV. She's not black enough for them, and they don't have a high school education or barely have a high school education or have no education, whatever, but they have to apply a purity test, whose mother's mother was probably a white person, whose father's father's father probably raped their great-great-grandmother. And even if, since when is it the person in question's fault who their parents are? And even this bullshit that Trump tried to pull when he talked in front of NABJ about she used to identify as Indian and then she was black. There's no history of that. And even if it was, you're supposed to deny who half of your parentage is in lieu of one of your parents. You can't be proud to be part Indian and part black. I don't deny the Irish lineage in my background. I look, I had a teacher in elementary school who said to me, because I went to Chadwick Elementary School starting in 4th grade. When I got to Chadwick Elementary School, I was one of 4 black kids in that school. And we were Negroes back then. We weren't black people, we were Negroes. We weren't African Americans, we were Negroes. And I was one of 4 Negroes. I was in 4th grade. There was a girl in 6th grade, and there were 2 kids who I think were in 2nd grade, but they were in special education class. And my teacher told me on St. Patty's Day that I couldn't wear green. How are you wearing green on St. Patty's Day? And I didn't know my lineage background at that point. But I felt like I could wear green because it's supposed to be an American holiday and I'm American. And then when I found out that my ancestor was an Irishman, I wear green every St. Patty's Day. But half the people that wear green and celebrate St. Patty's Day, one, ain't Irish, don't have a lick of Irish in the background, and two, don't even know the history of St. Patty's Day and what St. Patrick was all about. St. Patrick became a saint because he got the snakes out of Ireland. Woohoo! This is a thing that you could become a saint for 300 years ago. And all the people do to celebrate it now, and I'm not holding it against them, but they drink green beer and get drunk and pee in the street, throw up, and go work the next day. But you can't deny your heritage no matter what you want to do. You are who you are. And you should be proud of it no matter who helped make you, whatever went in the mixing bowl to make you. And not only should you be proud of it, you should not have that held against you when you try to be who you're going to be. And I have yet, people can come for me, show me difference that I'm saying, and we'll have a conversation. But I have yet to hear Kamala Harris say, I'm running to be your first Black female president of the United States. She's running to be the first woman president, but she's really running to be the next Democratic president of the United States. And for people who say and have said to me, oh, Barack Obama didn't do anything for Black people when he was president. The fuck you talking about? It's not about special interests. It's not about a single group. When a Democrat's in office, it's not about that. It's about rising the tide so all boats lift up. The Affordable Care Act was not for just white people, not for just Italian people, not for Mexican people, not for Chinese Americans, Asian Americans, not for Black people. It was for everybody. It was about helping everybody. Any president that tries to appeal to their specific group, whether it be a special interest group, whether it be a religion, whatever, they're not there to help everybody. They're there to have everybody help them. And that's what you have to decide when you get in that booth and when you're heading into that booth. I had people in 2007 tell me, well, you're only going to vote for Barack Obama because he's a Black man. And I came back with, well, you're not voting for him because he's a Black man. And let's be clear, I ain't voting for every Black man who's running for office just because they're Black. I have family in South Carolina, and if I lived in South Carolina today, you can bet your bottom dollar I would never vote for Tim Scott. You know, I didn't think twice about not voting for Ben Carson. I didn't think twice for not voting for Key. What was the carpetbagger running for Republican office anywhere where they needed someone to go against somebody Black? Ran against Barack Obama for the Senate seat in Illinois. You know, we got to stop this bullshit. We got to stop being crabs in the crab pot. And anybody in Maryland knows that reference. Black, white, whatever, you know the reference of being a crab in the crab pot. Black people, lift those up who are trying to do and stop trying to pull them back down to drown and boil with you. We're better than that. We need to be better than that. And if you have a problem with Kamala Harris's policies, articulate those problems in an intelligent manner. I've heard so much bullshit from people who are spoon-fed things that they think are true but don't even think to go further than what they're being told. Let me break down a couple things for you real quick. Kamala Harris was not the so-called border czar. It was her job and responsibility assigned to her by Joe Biden to find out the root cause of why all these people are trying to immigrate into the United States through the southern border, to go to their countries of origin and find out what's going on. She had nothing to do with the policies of the border. It was not her job to stop immigration. That's one. Two, no person can vote in an election in this country for president or any level unless they are a citizen of the United States. This bullshit I've heard and been questioned about the immigrants coming, the Democrats want them to be here because they can then get them to vote for them, is bullshit. You have to pass a citizenship test. You have to be here for a certain amount of years. You got to take classes. You got to become an American citizen before you can legally vote in this country. Nobody is trying to bring immigrants in to boost up the Republic, to boost up the Democratic Party. We have boosted up our party because we say, if you're straight, if you're black, if you're gay, if you're a woman, if you're any nationality, and you have the same values we have, you can be a member of our party. We don't need immigrants to come in immediately and become Democratic members and voters. Republicans have said to those same people, we don't want you because you're different. You're losing people because of your policies, not because of what Democrats are doing. Final one. Kamala's not supporting any of those bullshit lies. She's not trying to be the president of the immigrants. To those people, I'll say what my tagline has always been for the Nitelifer. You can't keep going through life with your eyes wide shut. Open your eyes, read, read, read. Educate yourself. Don't let anybody educate you. Intelligence is a gift from God. Ignorance is a choice. You choose to be ignorant. You choose to be uninformed because there's enough information out there to give you the information you need to make an intelligent choice. Avail yourself of that opportunity. That being said, that's how I see it. That's the way I see it. Mr. DJ,
Yeah.
if you please, play us out. Hope to see you all next week, next Wednesday, 7:15 to 9 p.m. 2 Wednesdays from now, we're going to have some cakes up in here. We're going to promote this lady's business if the food is good. And I'm going to tell you, because I have not yet reached my full fat potential. Fellow students, good night. I'm the king of chair dancing.
Yo, you start your live work. I'll let you.